Hello YouTube, back with the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Review, and today I have Structure Deck Zombie Madness, and obviously I got the boss monster here, which is Vampire Genesis. It's a pretty decent deck, I have to say. I mean, of course, we probably get an even better Structure Deck later on than Zombie World, yeah, Zombie World, right? I think that was what it was, because it was named that also includes a card of the same name as one of the new cards in it. I'd say this is pretty decent. The boss monsters I showed here, which is Vampire Genesis, also incidentally, a lot of these cards were used by Camula and GX, who used one of the 7 Shadow Riders back then. The card isn't too bad. I mean, take a look at it. It's 3,000 attack and 2,100 defense. It actually kind of breaks away from the usual 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense for monsters of this level. It's not a great card. It doesn't require a whole lot. Just Vampire Lord. You got to banish it, I believe, from the field. Yeah. Yeah, you have to move from play Vampire Lord, which isn't that great of a card, but, I mean, granted, it's not the worst thing, especially since this includes copies of, there's lots of decent monsters in here, I mean, including Call of the Mummy. Call of the Mummy is not a monster card, obviously, but I'm just giving an example here. Here's Call of the Mummy. This is the card you'd use to bring out Vampire Lord much more easily, and a lot of these cards in here. Yeah, Pyramid Turtle's in here. There's at least 2 copies of Pyramid Turtle in here, and here it is. This also includes really, I would say, arguably probably the, I don't know, one of the better spirit monsters in here. In fact, it's the only spirit monster that's actually released in here. It's Dark Dust Spirit. Yeah, it's really got this high ability to basically wipe everything else off the field. That includes yours, and if you have monsters that can survive it, well, then you're basically using Regeki for that. But as you can see, I've actually added a couple cards in here from the other structure deck. Mostly because, well, let's face it, they actually work pretty well here. I mean, they're both zombies as well. Here's one from the other deck. Give you an idea. It's a little bit different. It's a little straighter on the cards because these are the main structure deck I'm showing you here has been around a lot longer. And yes, Vampire Lord is in here in case you're going, why would they put in a card that you can't use? Well, but it wouldn't be the first time, because remember, Blue Eye Shining Dragon was released and there was no Blue Eyes Ultra Dragon to use it on unless you were in Japan. So. But unfortunately, it includes the probably weaker version of Magical Mallet. I don't know if that was. I don't think that was released at the time. This was actually. It was in Japan probably, but not here. It's Reload. It's not a bad card. It's kind of, and you're kind of required. You're required to return your entire hand into your deck. It's really only good if you got a bad hand to start with. The Reload is not necessarily going to increase your chances of getting anything good. And this is one of the better cards right here. Book of Life is probably one of the best zombie support cards in the entire structure deck, simply because of its, basically it's a monster reborn effect, and then you banish a monster from your opponent's graveyard. Pretty good chance of getting that done. I mean, and it revives any zombie from your graveyard. Of course, like one of the best stall monsters guarding zombies, Spirit Reaper. I mean, it did have its own combos back in the day. I don't think it will have that much nowadays, mostly just sitting on the field and just kind of waiting to see what happens. I've included some cards that were not included in this, I don't think. Teuton Mask, which is a zombie. It's basically, it's a free effect. Yeah, negates all effects. Yes. It's like, it's more like a free version of both 7 Tools of Bandit and Magic Jammer combined. It works on any zombie, so if you get a zombie and it's being targeted by one spell or trap card effect, it'll just negate it. And, of course, like all the other structure decks, include Mystical Space Typhoon, so. I've included a couple extra cards in here. I included Plague Spreader, kind of for obvious reasons. As I show you the extra deck at the end of this video, you'll see why. I mean, Pain Painter is another good one. It's treated as, it's probably the better version of Plague Spreader, I would say, arguably. Especially since we don't have, you don't really have any way to, we can't use Card of Safe Return anymore. I think that was also in this structure deck. Yeah, I've also got Overpowering Eye just for, you know, direct attacks and stuff. That could also help. So yeah, 2,000 less attack, so Vampire Lord will work with this. And of course, Rukoki's in here. One of the better monsters to search out with Pyramid Turtle, although I think Red Eye Zombie Dragon in the other structure deck is definitely better still. Which I think is arguably, yeah, and that one can really get you going here. I think it's actually arguably one of the strongest. Yeah, it's definitely one of the strongest zombies in the here, released in here. And of course, you got your daily copies of Compulsion Evacuation Device, which isn't a bad card. It won't really help probably much. I mean, it will help somewhat today, but of course, certain monsters, there's no point using. I mean, Cyber Dragon, you can bounce it back to the hand. Okay, now you just about the conditions again, they can special summon it, because there's no limit to special summons in the game. with the exception of card effects. But I mean, so, not all the cards in here are good, but you know, there's a good chunk of them that are. I mean, some of these can be okay if you use Despair from the Dark here. There's a couple copies in here. I mean, this is pretty much only good with Call the Mummy. It's good 2800 beat stick or high defensive monster if you need that. But arguably, it's not that great. And of course, there's the vanilla monster. I think there's only one vanilla monster in here, Master Kianchi. Kind of sad they would include this over like maybe another copy of something else that we could actually use. Yeah, we didn't get Plague Spreader Zombie. Now that I think about it, we didn't get Plague Spreader Zombie as an actual. Let's see, that was Secret Rare, I think, when it first came out. I'm trying to think. No, it was Ultra. It was in Crossroads of Chaos. I think about it. I pulled that card. And of course, that was a gold rare. That was the gold rare version of Plague Spreader you saw. So in case you're ever wondering, is that a fake? No, it's legit. It's an actual gold rare card. I don't know if I can show it that well. It's got the reflectivity on here. Yeah, you can see it a little. If you look at this corner, it says, yeah, you got the card code. You can see it's got a little foil on both the. I don't like these gold rares as much though because they don't have as they're not as good looking as the first gold rares that came out. I mean, they were holo foil. They're actually more ultra rarish. This may have been why they changed it. But yeah, that's pretty much the structure deck itself. And here's what I added to it as an extra deck. Mostly probably what you would probably typically expect, including an Xyz monster. This is one of the more recent ones I ended up getting. But most of these cards are over time. So I've gotten a couple of Archfiend Zombie Skulls here. So I think it's been reprinted as a common. And 2 copies of Doom Kaiser Dragon. It's not a bad. These aren't bad. I mean, granted, Zombie Skull is a little harder to bring out, but I think it's gotten a little bit easier. I mean, Pain Painter certainly helps with that. It counts. I think it counts as Plague Spreader Zombie. It's a little easier to bring out. I think it's also a con. I think actually, incidentally, the card has also been released as a common. Actually, as has Plague Spreader Zombie. But I mean, yeah, I guess Crimson Knight Vampire Brand, which is this card here, is probably going to see more play with if you're using, you know, Call of the Mummy, obviously, because then you can bring out level 5. You already have level 5. Bam, you're all set to go here. I think, yeah, it needs 2 level 5 zombies. Shouldn't be too hard to do, especially if you can use Book of Light to revive one from the graveyard. Although I don't think there are too many level 5s in that structure deck as a whole. There might be, I think, I'm trying to think if there's any in the other zombie structure deck. There might be. I think there is a Majestic Mech Goku N, maybe level 5 or 6. Probably level 6, though. I think it's not like Zabor, which is the only Monarch monster to be level 5, despite its level. But yeah, pretty decent structure deck. I would definitely recommend getting it. Of course, you're going to have to pay a little bit more for it now than it would have been back then, because, I mean, it's not exactly like it's in print anymore. You might get lucky and find it like a discount store like Walmart or something like that. But yeah, that's my review on the structure deck Zombie Madness. Thanks for